Okay, good morning, everybody. Let's go ahead and get started. Let me know if you guys can hear my audio and see my screen in the chat box. Just give me a little Y or a yes there, just to let me know that it is indeed working. Hope everybody's having a fantastic morning so far. Hopefully your trading's been going well. I'm looking forward to another successful bankers close trade today. So let's get into this. As always, I need to remind you guys about the risks involved in the market. You can lose all or more than your initial investment if you're not careful. So please be aware of how many pips you're risking on each trade, in addition to how big your lot size is and ultimately how that would affect your account if you were to lose money. So make sure that you're going through that process each and every time that you take a trade. All right, guys. So as far as news goes, there's not a lot on the docket here. We just have some preliminary non-farm data coming out for the dollar. Added more jobs than expected, which is kind of interesting. We'll see how that plays out tomorrow in the actual non-farm unemployment change news event tomorrow. But there's no news with the pound, franc, or euro, so we should be good to trade the traditional bankers close today. The trade that I'm thinking about getting into, or I pretty much want to get into, is the euro pound short. I'm going to go ahead and take a position with you guys. I've already kind of looked at this, so I'm going to go ahead and get started with it, just do a starter position, and then I'll discuss in just a moment kind of the reasons why I think this is going to be a really good trade. But yeah, go ahead and get into a starter short on the euro pound. And it is possible that we see this go up a little bit more before it comes down. I'll show you why, which I'll show you how to be prepared for that too. But ultimately, I do think it's going to find its way to the downside, but want to let you know of that beforehand. Okay, so I've got my starter position in. I've also got, let me move this over here because I'm managing this on my own. Okay. Perfect. There we go. All right, so why the euro pound today? I've looked at a couple of different options, a couple of different currency pairs that we could potentially trade, but I really like this euro pound option for the banker's close. Let's go to TradingView and talk about the reasons why. So we can go and look at each pair. And actually, real quick though, I've had a couple of people request that I do this. So let me go ahead and real quickly, let me make a screenshot. Actually, let me plug it in with the stop losses too. I had a couple of people request that I do this. Let me go ahead and take a screenshot of the trade setup so that the people who are not in the webinar know what we're doing, okay? Okay, so here we go. So I'm gonna go ahead and save this euro pound. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. That works. Okay, let me just get this posted. Okay, so that should be a good, just to let everybody know what we're doing, who's not here in the webinar. Okay, so now we can go through the analysis. So I was looking for a couple of opportunities here. So the euro franc, euro pound, pound franc, they're all on the table. We can trade any one of those three because we do not have any news. All right. So if you pull up the euro pound specifically, I like this one because you're coming up against a lot of old supply, old resistance. And when I say old, this was created at the beginning of this week or at the latter part of last week. Okay. All of this supply was, and we're retesting this for the first time. Okay. And then you've got, if you go to a higher time frame, you can see that this is an old resistance as well. We're kind of just retesting that whole thing. The market could go above this. Definitely. We could see the market come up to, up into this area. I don't think it will happen during this hour though, because when there's no news driving the market right now, right? We don't have any news. We're at the end of the trading day. The chances of the market going to the next supply zone, which is all the way up here, is not likely. I mean, that's 100 pips away. That's just not going to happen right now. And if it does, then by all means, I'll let the market take my money, right? Because that's kind of crazy to be able to do something like that. So definitely not going to happen at this hour. So we're at a really good level where I think a pullback is likely to happen. And so that's kind of my push right now. And then let's see, what else was I going to say about this particular trade? Oh yeah, so if you zoom in now, so now that we have kind of the higher top down analysis, now if you zoom into the market, okay, we go down to the smaller time frame. Actually, just zoom in and then pull up Sonar Lab. You can verify all of this stuff. So there are some buy blocks down here that we need to be aware of, but we're right in the middle of a sell block right now. Okay, so the chance of the market pulling back just due to the fact that we're in a sell block is, I think, even more likely. And then if you go to a 15-minute chart, this is what's really exciting. Okay, on the 15-minute, the shorter time frame, getting more into your entry style, definitely in sell blocks. So these are institutional sell blocks right up here, and the market's struggling to break above these. Okay, the fact that you don't have any news, you're at the end of the trading day, and you're right up against a sell block, the chance of a pullback is even more, like it's all there. The other thing that I like, and I don't use this piece of analysis all the time because it's not always there, but there is a little bit of a trend line right here on a 15-minute, 5-minute chart. Okay, a little bit of a trend. Look how the market's drifted away from that trend line. Okay, the market is still moving up. I'm not saying it's not an uptrend. Sure, it's in an uptrend. That's fine. But it's drifted away from it. The market will often like to regress back to its trend line at some point. And what better time to do that than during the banker's close hour, and when you're hitting up against supply, both on a higher time frame and on a lower time frame. So I do believe that we're going to get a pullback at least to that trend line. That's going to be my target, by the way. When we get a pullback to this, I'm going to take a lot of my profits. Pretty much all my profits I'm going to take if it touches this again. So yeah, I'm looking for, 15, 18 pips per trade at the moment. If the market goes up a little bit more and then comes back down, I may not look for as much. But at the moment, I am looking for about 15 pips of profit before I'm going to close out and take my money. Okay. So this should be a pretty dandy trade, like a pretty good one today. And I'm pretty excited to be in it. I just wanted to show you the analysis, and anyway, I've shown you why I'm taking this one. You could use the Euro Franc. That's going to be a good short too. Like, go take a look at that one. You could short this one right now. It actually looks like it would be doing just fine. It doesn't have, it's not at as much supply as the Euro Pound is, but this could be a really good short as well. You could absolutely trade this one and then just ride this one until about here to this old support level. So yeah, that's a good option. There's also the pound franc. Pound franc, I don't like as much. This is my third option, but I don't even know what I would do with this one yet. Like, would I buy this one? Would I sell this one? I don't even know. I don't know. I couldn't tell you what to do with this one because technically there's a bunch of demand right here. So yeah, if the market pulled back into here, I'd probably be a buyer, but we're not there. And I don't know if it's a good buy or a good sell. I couldn't really make a good narrative for that one yet for either direction. I couldn't really tell you. So I'm just going with the pair that I feel most confident with. If I didn't trade the euro pound, you could trade the euro franc. That's your alternate. And that one looks good for a short. The euro franc does. But yes, let's see. Here's the trades. Yeah, here's what I've got right here. I just barely entered into these, and yeah, they haven't done anything yet. But this is kind of the idea is, and guys, I apologize. I've been kind of sick the last couple of days. You might have been able to notice it, but my voice has not been the same. I've been told that my speech has been a lot slower recently, so I apologize. I've been saying the word a lot. So I'm sorry. I'm just got this brain fog right now. It's not been a great health wise. It's not been the greatest start to the year yet. I'm hoping that changes soon. I really want to get over this as soon as possible. But yeah, this is it right here. Here's that trend line I was talking about. Here's the 5-minute chart. So okay, a couple of things real quick that I just want to point out. This is technically a bull flag pattern. So usually the market will break to the upside in something like this. However, I don't trade these types of patterns as much anymore. Now, if this guy were to go up, if it were to break higher, it's only going to break to something like that where there's tons of supply. We know there's institutional supply up here. So for me, even though there's a chance this could go a little higher before it comes down, I know, and for me personally, I have a pretty strong inclination that if the market were to go up into here, I'm going to get a lot of good sell orders up there, and then I can ride this down. So there's a couple of options. Here's what I see happening today, guys. It's one of these things, one of these scenarios is how the market should play out today. Either we get the move we want right away, which is it's starting. We're up 3 pips per trade. I'm up 26 pips total. Like we're already starting to move in our favor. Either the market just goes straight in our favor like this, and we hit this trend line right here into demand, and we close all of our trades. We make our money. We're done. We're happy. Okay. That's scenario one. Scenario two is something like this, like the market kind of goes a little sideways and then ultimately comes up into here. Let me delete a lot of this stuff. Dang, got a lot of stuff here. It goes up kind of into some supply. I imagine there's a little bit of a trend line going right here. Let's see, does this actually continue? Yeah, right there. So I could definitely see the market coming up, maybe up into here, and then pretty much pulling back like this. And then we come and touch this right here, this trend line. And then we take our profits. Yeah, we come and take our profits right along that line there. And actually I like that looks better to me. Lines up with the two lines. They're parallel to each other. So maybe something like this. So the market could go up and then come down, and then we make our money that way. Or it just goes down immediately and we make our money that way. So either way we make our money. I'm just letting you know what the two scenarios are. If the market goes up and we get, a move that kind of retests this trend line up here, I'm going to want to add to my position. Okay. I'm going to add to the trade. If we don't get that and it just comes straight down and we make our money right away, yeah, I'll take my profits right here. So pretty much at this right here is where I want to take my profits. My thought is I think there's quite a bit of demand right there on a 5-minute right there. Here, so let me delete all this stuff. This is where demand is right here. So if this market comes down, we want to take our profits right in there. And that'll be a good day. We'll be happy, make our money. So I'll go ahead and pull these profits up right here, take profits so we can close out in this area. Today should be a better day than yesterday. Yesterday was good, and we'll recap yesterday in just a moment. But today should be better than today should be better than yesterday. I'm pretty excited actually about today's trade. But again, I just want to make you aware of the different scenarios here. In all likelihood, if this bull flag prevails, you're going to see the market retest that trend line right there to the upside. And then if it hits that, you're definitely going to want to sell, like add more to the trade. If this market wants to pull to the downside, that's fine too. And then when it comes into this kind of demand area, that's going to be a good area to close at. So I think we've got the market cornered here. I think we have a pretty solid analysis of today. Pretty solid analysis. But now we just got to be patient. So in the meantime, why don't I do this? Let's recap yesterday's trade because it was an interesting banker's close trade. This one should be pretty straightforward. Although it's being a little slow. At some point in this hour, we should get a nice break either to the downside or to the upside. And I just want to be ready for that. In fact, I think I'm going to go ahead and just have a couple of orders ready to go. So if it does break up, I do want to start selling up here. I do want to grab a few more sells. Definitely up here. So I'm just going to have some ready to go in case I miss it. But yeah, this would be a phenomenal area to sell at right there. You should get a pullback pretty quick from that area. But we'll see. I mean, we're already positive now, 38 pips total across our starter position. It's going to be a good day. I can definitely smell it already. Yesterday, I was kind of confused. I was like, is this a buy or is this a sell? This one's definitely a sell. It's just how we're going to go about doing it. Do we get our money right away or do we get it this way? Either way, we're going to get it. All right, guys. So let's actually recap yesterday's trade. So yesterday, the trade that you and I took was this. So I got into the market. I sold right here. And it was not, I'm going to be honest, I did not take a very good initial sell. It was not good. Ultimately, it worked out, but it was not a good initial sell. So in fact, you guys know on TradingView, there's a lot of indicators, right? I like this sessions indicator. You can literally just go to indicators, type in sessions. I like this one by, who makes this one? Who is this? Who's the owner of this? So I can point them out here. Sessions by, oh geez, who makes this? Settings. I don't know. It's one of the most popular sessions. So basically right here in the settings, you can set up of sessions. You can come in here and decide if you want the London session, New York, Tokyo, Sydney. I just want it to show London only because that's what we're trading, the London close. The banker's close strategy is all about the London close, right? So we come into the market, you and I start this class together 1 hour, exactly 1 hour before the London market closes. Okay. So right here, we have this is the beginning of the class right there, that line. The end of the class is pretty much this line right here, because right at the London close, we're done. Now, we often hold the trade past that time, but this is the hour. This is the opportunity. So I came in here and that said I thought it looked like a sell, and I was right. I just was really early, right? I was really early to this trade because ultimately it went up for the next 10 or 15 minutes, 18 pips. We sold more up here and then it pulled back and we made our money on the other end of this. So if you guys remember, if you pull up Telegram, you can see the trade. Here it is. Let me pull Telegram over. Here's the trade setup. So you can see we sold right here. And then it went up to here for the next 10 or 15 minutes. We sold more. And then it pulled back. And when it started to pull back in our favor, we got out of some right there for a small loss. And then these ones were barely any loss, almost break even. And then the rest of these were just profit. All of those were profits, those green ones. And that's what made us profitable on the day. We could have been way more profitable had we sold at a better point. I just wasn't being that smart. That's my fault. Today, I think we've done a better job. I definitely think we've done a better job today. But yeah, because we sold up here about 15, 20 minutes into the webinar, and then we got this nice pullback. And this went like 36 pips in our favor, big time. So that was a great banker's close trade right there. Now, as you guys know, we use the Bollinger Bands. I should have just waited until we hit this upper Bollinger Band right here and then made the sell at that point. I didn't do that. Again, that is my fault for doing that, trading it that way. I should not have done that, but that's okay. Ultimately, we did just fine. And then today, you come, here's the new London session. Here's the opening of the London session that happened in the middle of the night. And now here we are right here. Now we don't really have a break in the upper or lower Bollinger Band yet. That's okay. I have a feeling that it's going to hit this upper Bollinger Band here in the next couple of minutes. So we may see the trade go into a little bit of a drawdown and then come back in our favor. But here's the start of the class right here. We started right here. The end of the class will be right here, basically. And then if you pull up Sonar Lab, as you guys know, on a 15-minute, there's just tons of supply up here, tons of supply. Okay. So since we know there's tons of supply right up in here, if this market does break up, I'm going to take full confidence and full power and full ammunition to send this guy lower. Okay. And I'm going to target basically when it hits this trend line right here. If it comes back and hits that trend line, that's where I'm going to take my profits. So we just don't know if the market's going to come down right away or if it's going to come down after a brief period to the upside. And it's going to be very brief. You know, if it comes up to here, it's just going to come up for a little bit and then come right back down. And I'm going to take every opportunity I have to sell more up there and make money on the downside. Now, yeah, I'm pretty excited about this trade. I think our analysis is bulletproof on this one. It's just going to take a little bit of time. And it's being slow just because there's not a lot of stuff happening in the market. There's no news, not a lot of stuff going on. I had a question pop up here. It was just one of those, I think this would be good to share with everybody. It's a little more of a basic question, but I do want to answer it because we've had a lot of new folks join the webinar and join the program recently, which, by the way, welcome to everybody, especially if you are new. We hope you guys find this to be very valuable. hope that this can be a program where you can start making a side income or a full-time income from trading. We're excited to have you here. But let me answer this basic question because I think it is important to answer and everybody's on the same page. And it's, by the way, there's no dumb questions. Like, you guys can answer. We're all friends here. And if you guys see the question in the chat box, feel free to chime in on the chat box and answer those questions too. Just because that's how we are. We're a very friendly group. We're not cutthroat like Wall Street. We're just here to help each other trade better and do better. So the question was, what is a short position? Like, how do you make money when the market goes down? And this is actually a great question to ask because it'll change your mind about trading. I think a lot of people who are new to the market think that you can only make money if the market goes up, which that's true if if you've got a 401k, your financial advisor is never going to put you in a short position. They're only going to put you in trades, put you in investments that only make money when the market goes up. That's why this last year, this was not a good year for the stock market. The S&P 500 is down 19% from the start of last year to the end of last year, which is funny because I talked to a lot of financial advisors last year and they all told me, oh yeah, we're going to end 2022 higher than we did last year. We're down right now, but we're going to end, and they're wrong. They're just wrong. And part of the problem you have with, and I'm not saying you guys shouldn't seek out a financial advisor. They are good, but it's important to understand where they're coming from. Financial advisors, I like to refer to them as eternal cheerleaders, because eternal cheerleaders, the reason why they are eternal cheerleaders is because they make money on the sell, right? They make money getting your money to invest. And so whether the market's up or down or sideways, they don't care. They just want to get your money to invest it, because the more money they can invest, the more commission they get. So it doesn't matter if the market's at an all-time high, they're going to invest your money, or if the market's at an all-time low or sideways, they're going to invest your money. It's just how it works. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, as long as your outlook on those investments are 10, 20, 30 years. Like, you could buy at the top of the market today, and then, if you're willing to hold that for 30 or 40 years, it doesn't really matter at what price you got in. And that's the theory behind financial advisory. Hey, as long as I can teach this person in front of me that I'm going to take your money, invest it for 20, 30, 40 years, and you're okay with that, we're on the same page. It doesn't matter where I buy or sell. It's because they're not traders. They're salesmen, right? That's how much so much stuff is, right? And it's okay. But the reason why I bring that up is because, in relation to this question, is because when you're doing that type of trading or investing, it's very passive, and you are at the whim of whatever the market's doing. Market goes up, you're at the whim of what, you're going to make money when the market goes up. Wonderful. Market goes down, you're going to lose money when the market goes down. That's just how it is. Trading's different though. So in trading, obviously, if we're buying, it's a simple, straightforward trade. I can buy the euro pound, and if this goes up, then great, I make money on the way up. Now, if I take what's called a short position or a sell, I actually literally make money when the market goes down. So I have sell positions on the euro pound right now because we're expecting this to come down. We're expecting this euro pound to come down and retest this trend line sometime this afternoon, sometime this morning. And we're going to make, $1,000, $2,000 on this trade. Just because I've got the trade going on right here, but I've also got the trade going on a few other accounts on my other screen over here, which I got to tell you about that in just a second. But let me answer this question first. So yeah, if the market goes in our favor, meaning if the market goes down, you make money. So here's how a short position works. And it's kind of confusing, so I'll try to explain it in the best detail I can. So a short position is where, let's say there's two people, okay? There's me, and then there's you. Let's say I own the euro pound right now. I actually have buy positions on the euro pound. But then you have this idea and you're like, you know what? I think the euro pound is going to go down in the short term right now. And I want to make money because I know it's going to go down. You can actually borrow my shares, my ownership in the euro pound, and I make a bet with you. I'm saying, well, I think it's going to go up. You say it's going to go down. So you borrow my shares. You're promising that you're going to buy them back from me at a lower price. So you're borrowing them from me at a higher price. So if the price is up here, you're borrowing them from me, but you don't own them yet technically. And if this market goes down, you can then promise to buy later, which is also known as a cover. You're covering your short position by purchasing those shares at a later price, at a lower price, hopefully. And then you cover your short position. So you're still going to buy, you're just reversing the order in which you do things. So with a buy position, you buy now and then you sell later. You buy now, sell later. That's always how buys work, right? With a short position, you are reversing that order. You're selling now with the promise that you will buy later. That's how a short works. This is why in day trading, you can make money whether the market goes up or whether it goes down, whether there's inflation, whether there's unemployment. Doesn't matter what the market's doing. As long as you know how to read the strategy, trade the strategy, you can make money no matter what type of market condition you're in. Okay. Which is genius, right? Which, by the way, our trade's working. Look at this. I'm up 85 pips now. This thing's starting to come down. So yeah, my other account, not too big yet, but I'm up 300 bucks on this trade right now. And we're going to let this continue. So we'll see how this plays out. Anyway, super exciting. Starting to break out a little bit. But look at this. This market's coming down, right? I'm up 100 pips now on this trade, almost 100 pips. It's coming down, but we're making money. I'm up $400. I'm up $500 now on this trade, right? Like why is that happening? It's because I sold first with the promise I'm going to buy these shares back in just a minute. Like when the trade's done and we make our money, I'm going to buy these shares back. When we're ready to do it, I'm going to go ahead and buy them back, but not quite there yet. Let's see, when do I want to do this? No, I think there's still more to go. Like I do think, let's take a closer look. Let's see, do the Bollinger Bands. 1 second. Okay, when do I want to do this? I think one more impulse to the downside. Yeah, it's doing it. I'm going to close just a couple of trades. Take a little bit of profit on that. I'm just going to take 1 or 2 trades off, just book a little profit. There we go. Okay, so I've booked 42.22 pips of profit, and I've got 60 pips left of unrealized profit. I'm just going to pull these up. I'm still thinking this is the area you want to close at right here, this general area. So that's where I'm going to leave the rest of the trades to go still. Anyway, back to what I was saying, because it's super exciting stuff. If once you realize that you can make money when the market's going up or down, it's going to change your outlook on everything, right? Because all of a sudden, it doesn't matter what happens to the economy. It doesn't matter what wars are going on. It doesn't matter what kind of, I can't say this word on here because I post this on YouTube, but it doesn't matter what kind of cough is going on as well. I hope you got that. It doesn't matter what kind of thing that way is going on, because you can make money no matter what, which is really, really cool. Which not a lot of places can do that. There's industries that really suffer during times like when there's recessions and things like that, when there's uncertainty. I don't know if you guys saw this, but Salesforce today announced that they're firing 10% of their workforce, which is not even that big in comparison to some other places. You look at Facebook, they've let people go. You've got um I live here in Utah. We've got what we call Silicon Slopes, and it's a very tech heavy area, and it's a very prosperous thing for our economy, local economy here in Utah. But those places have been letting people go. I got people in my neighborhood that don't have jobs right now who were working over there. That, it's not good for these tech companies right now. So a lot of people are trying to find ways to create income. And I just can't think of much of a better way to do this. Like, if you've got the time, learn the banker's close, learn how to get funded by these prop trading companies, because it'll probably be more money than you were making at those jobs anyway. You get $200,000 of funding at MyForex Funds or FTMO, and you make a couple grand a day. I don't know many jobs that pay that, right? Yeah, it's pretty awesome. But anyway, why did I bring that up? Oh, I was just, and this is I'm spending so much time on this question, but it's just because I was saying, when, I think some people have this thought like, well, why would I want to learn to trade right now if I can only make money when the market goes up? Why would I trade right now? Because the market's obviously going down. But that's not the case with trading. Trading, you're making money up, down, sideways, every type of market. We're making money in all those types of markets. So it's a really exciting thing. So if you don't know what a short position is still, just go on Google or YouTube and just type in, what is a short? Or what's the difference between long and short? Long meaning a long position is buy, you're buying, okay, you're holding long. If you place a sell position, that's a short, and you're holding short. That's what that means. Just say, hey, Google, hey, YouTube, what's the difference between going long and what's the difference between going short? And it'll give you all the answers you need that way. But hopefully I can explain it too. Again, the best way I can explain it is you're just reversing the order. In a normal buy position, you buy first, you sell later. But you won't make money. But if you don't do that second thing on a buy, you won't make money. You have to buy and then sell later to make money with a buy position. If you don't sell your buy position, you won't make any money, right? You have to do both. And the same thing's true with the short. You're selling now with the promise that you're going to buy later. If you don't complete that buy and cover your short position, you won't make money with the short position either. So you're always going to buy, you're always going to sell. You're just reversing the order in which you do things. So with the short position, you sell first, you buy later, boom, you make your money that way. Now, can you lose money with a short? Absolutely. Like, if this trade goes against us, if this goes back up to here, you're going to see us losing money. So the market's going up, but we're losing money, right? That's kind of a foreign concept. Market's going up, but you're losing money. But that's true when you are short. I mean, do you guys remember what happened with, or at least I've heard about, GameStop? There's a new Netflix thing about it too. I haven't watched it, but I know there's a thing about it. Uh, this last year, there's a lot of crazy things that happen. There's a group of people that got on places like Reddit, and they noticed that there was a massive short position by these big multinational banks and hedge funds that were shorting places like GameStop and Blockbuster years ago, because these are companies that have pretty much been obsolete. They're no longer valid. Their services are no longer in use, essentially. So they're just dinosaur companies that still have assets and still have some sales, but they're on their way out. And so these big hedge funds look at these companies and they realize, hey, this is a good trade. If we short this company, we're going to make money. So they literally short with the intention that they're going to make money on the way down. And when that company goes bust, they're going to make all this money. A lot of people did that with Blockbuster. They just shorted Blockbuster, right? So So anyway, that's kind of the concept in a nutshell. That's kind of how that works. Now, what happened with GameStop? So a lot of people got together and wanted to stick it to the hedge funds. And so everyone just piled their money together and bought as many shares as they could of GameStop and kind of made it a fad and got a ton of people involved. And insofar that it sent GameStop to new highs. And then what happens is these big hedge funds, if they have such a big loss, they have to cover their short position. Now, remember, if you cover a short, that means you buy. So if you have all these, you have this big group of people who are buying GameStop already to stick it to the hedge funds, and the hedge funds are at such a loss that they have to cover. What's the other word? You could say cover or buy. Cover or buy, the same exact thing. Cover and buy are the same thing. So they have to buy back their position because they sold already, years ago when they initially took their short position on GameStop or Blockbuster or whatever. And they now have to buy back their position. They were hoping to buy back at a lower price because they'd make money on that trade, but instead they have to buy at a high price to cover. Now, what does that do to the stock? If you have all these people already buying and holding these positions, and then you've got GameStop and you've got these hedge funds who are now covering, that's going to send the price even higher because they're covering their position, right? So you got people covering and people who are continuing to buy. That's why you had this meteoric rise in GameStop. Now that's since been over, right? I mean, it was inevitable. It can't last forever. It's pulled back since, right? So there's a lot of people who lost money both directions. The people who bought, unless you were smart and could get out and take your profits in time, you lost money. And a lot of these big banks also lost money too, these hedge funds. So anyway, just an interesting concept, which by the way, our trade is doing great. Look at this. See, now it's continuing to push in our favor. I'm up 70 pips unrealized, 42 pips realized. And why is that? It's because it's continuing down. We're getting this market to push even lower. It's just amazing, 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 amazing. Again, I'm going to hold just a little bit longer because I think the demand is right in this area. So I don't think it's done quite yet with the move down. I think I will pull one profit off though and leave the rest on here. At this point, I don't need those sell limits because the market just came in our favor right away. I don't need those sell limits anymore because it's just come in our favor. But yeah, those targets should hit. We're getting pretty close. It's really exciting. Really exciting. All right, so we'll let that continue to go. What else was I going to say about that? So anyway, long answer to the question, but I think it's worth answering because it is a really good question. It's a basic question, but I think it also is just the very reason why trading is so valuable is because it's inflation proof. It's unemployment proof, right? It's such a cool thing, man. It is such a cool thing. I know a lot of people too, like who trade, they just trade the banker's close, this type of thing, and they still do their job. Like maybe you've got a good career and you love what you do. Why not? By all means, keep doing what you're doing. But if you can't, I mean, if I don't think there's anything wrong, and I think it's a great thing that you can create income for you and your family through other means like this. I think that's just such a wonderful thing to be able to make an extra couple grand a day through trading. And then if you're whatever you do on top of that, that's awesome. Oh, this is the other thing I was going to say. So I just started, I think I told you guys this. I just started we're getting really close to hitting some more profits here. Really close. This is exciting. I just started a My Forex Funds challenge. It's a 200K challenge. Um, okay, I should close another trade, honestly, while it's available. I just started My Forex Funds on My Forex Funds challenge. It's pretty cool. In fact, I'd love to show you guys what it looks like on my end. Yeah, that I think you guys would love to see that, honestly. So let me actually let me make sure I can show you what I can show you here. Okay, so yeah, this is it right here. So I just started a $200,000 challenge with My Forex Funds. So this is it basically. And I like these guys. So I told you guys I passed a couple of challenges with FTMO. So I'm funded with FTMO. That was the first place I got funded, was with FTMO, and I have a $200,000 trading account with them. And I've done several free trial challenges since then. Like I just did one last week. I passed a FTMO challenge in 3 days. I showed you guys that yesterday. And then I just started My Forex Funds. I've never used these guys before, but they're one of the big ones out there. These guys are in London. So far, pretty slick experience. I just went in and signed up for a $200,000 evaluation account. Basically, I have 30 days to make $16,000 today, and I just started today. So I've already made I've made $1,099.82 today. And I still have another trade on, and so I could close for I think I'm going to end the day around 12 or $1,300 in profit. But I'm on pace. I'm definitely on pace to pass the challenge, and I'm just going to use the banker's close only to pass the challenge. So that's kind of exciting. Um, you know, only the banker's close. That's it. But yeah, you start with 200K. You can do whatever account you want. For me personally, here's my philosophy on funding. If you're confident with what you're doing and you feel like you've done this long enough that you're like, yep, I know what I'm doing, you shouldn't ever go for a lower amount of funding, right? I think these guys actually do up to 300K. I didn't do that just because I'm so used to trading in 200K account. Like that's just been for months I've been trading with 200 grand. Like 200 grand was what I do all the time. Um, and then let's see what else. What, by the way, it looks like our trade, we're not, okay, we're close. Well, we haven't quite hit our last couple of targets here, but we're close. One more impulse to the downside and we're going to hit our targets, which is exciting. But what I was going to say about this, sorry, I get so distracted and I'm sick right now. I've got this brain fog. Oh yeah, I've been trading 200K account just because that's been my normal amount to trade with. But and so I've just been focusing on 200K, but these guys are awesome because you get 30 days to make 16 grand, which is pretty doable. I think there's what 21 trading days in a month. There's 21 opportunities to trade the banker's close. So if you got to make $16,000, you need to make divided by 21. You really need to make about $761 a day on average. So some days you're going to want to make more than that just in case you can't trade, or let's say you have a bad day and you actually lose money, which is not very common with the banker's close, but it could happen. So you do want to plan for that. So obviously today is a good day because I'm going to probably make about double that. By when everything's said and done, I'll probably make close to double. So it's a good day. Let's see what else I'm going to say about this though. Yeah, and you have to make an 8% return, so 16 grand, which is nice. FTMO, you have to make $20,000 in 30 days. Oh, the other thing I really like about these guys is they give you unlimited retries. So if you let's say you get to day 30 or day 28 or day 29 and you realize, hey, I'm not going to be able to make the $16,000. I can't make it in the 30 days that they allotted me. If you can't make the 16 grand, you can email them. And this is something that they're huge on. It's one of the things that they're known for. You can email them and say, hey, I didn't pass the challenge, but I am profitable. I made $8,000. I didn't make 16. They will extend, not, well, you can extend, you can ask them to extend 14 days, or you can just get another retry. So they'll get you a new account with another 200 grand, but then you've got another 30 days to make the 16 grand. So I like that. I think that's really fair and honest. Like, you're being profitable. As long as you haven't broken any rules. Like, if you break their drawdown rule, I'm sorry, but you're going to lose your money. Okay. You're going to lose your audition fee. Oh, looks like our trades are awesome. Let's see. Okay. Yeah. We just had another trade hit its take profit here. We've now booked 99 pips on the day with another 33.5 unrealized. So we're getting pretty close to hitting this trend line right here. So, one more impulse down and we're done for the day, and we'll take all of our profits there. So that's really exciting, really, really exciting to see. Anyway, let me go back over here. So yeah, you get unlimited retries. You get, as long as you're profitable, you can do a 14-day extension. If, you have to email them a few days before the 30 days is up, and you can get a 14-day extension as long as you haven't broken any rules and you are profitable. So I was actually thinking about that. If you have 14 days extension on the 30 days, so you have 30 days plus 14, I think there's like 31 total trading days in 44 days. So there's 31. So you have 31 days basically to trade if you have 44 total days. So you could make your 16 grand, let's see, divided by 31. So yeah, as long as you made $516 a day on average, you would pass with an extension. If you want to pass without an extension, you need to make an average of $761 a day, which should be a piece of cake. And then let's see, what else I can say. Oh, then after stage one, you go to phase two and you have to make 10 grand in 60 days, which you should be able to pass that probably in just like a week or two, just with the banker's close. And then once you pass phase two, you're then funded with these guys, very similar to FTMO, just phase one, phase two. And then let's see, what else is going to say about these guys? It's super awesome. Okay, so I just booked my last trade. So this is what I ended the day with. I ended it with $1,165.37, which is good. That definitely puts me on track. I'm at a good spot. Let's see what else. Oh, these guys give you a refund just like FTMO as long as you pass your challenge. The downside though is you have to wait a full month to get your first payout. So once you are funded, you have to trade for like 10 days at least, and then get funded. And then they'll give you a refund, and then they'll actually give you 112% refund. I don't know why 112, but they'll give you 112% refund, which is amazing. And they'll actually pay you some of the money that you make from the challenge account, which I think is crazy. They're going to actually pay you, it's not a lot, like they'll pay you 2 or 3%, 4% of the challenge account. These guys their payout on the first month, they pay you 75% of what you make on the first month. Second month payout, they pay you 80%. And then on your third month's payout and there on out, they pay you 85% of your profits, which is pretty amazing. So yeah, if you make with these guys your first month, if you're pretty consistent and you're making about the 16 grand every month, your first month, you're going to keep about 12 grand. But in the future, if you make 16 grand on your third month, you're going to make 0.85, you're going to make 13,600 of, they're going to keep, $4,400 for themselves. and then they're going to cut you a check for $13,600. So I think that's pretty fair. 85% payout. That's actually really, really good. That's amazing. But I've been pretty impressed so far with it. I like the dashboard. I think I like FTMO's dashboard a little bit more than this one. But I'm impressed, and I do like the fact that the profit target's a little less. I don't know, the 20 grand, you can definitely, I've done it before. You can totally make 20 grand in a month with 200K. But for some reason that 16 grand just seems so much easier to make than 20. I feel like I don't have to take as many risks to make the money. So I like that. All right, guys, this guy just basically popped to our, I think I'm going to close these last two trades out. It basically got to demand and then it just fluttered out a little bit. So I'm good. I just took all my profits. I'm up 122 pips, 122.5 pips on just this account. As you guys know, I made over here on my other account. I made, actually, you can see, here's my other account. Here's my Forex Funds account. You can see my account history today. Here's from, this is actually a trade, that Bankers Close trade I took about an hour ago on a different pair. But these are the trades right here I just took with you guys, the Euro Pound right there. So good day. And like I said, I'm only going to trade the Bankers Close for a couple of reasons. I want to show people that it can be done. You can get funded with my strategy, my Bankers Close strategy. I want to show people that you definitely can do it. And then the other reason why is just because it's just that consistent, and I don't like to mix funds with different strategies. So I have other accounts where I'll trade my overnight stuff, and then I have accounts that are just Bankers Close. And I like that diversification just a little bit because, if you have a bad losing day with one strategy, it maybe the other strategy still makes money, that type of thing. So you can still get paid even if you have a losing day, right? So, but I'll let you guys know how this continues to go. Like I said, my intention is to just use the Bankers Close, and we'll just go from there. So anyway, another great trading day, guys. Really happy to see our results. Really happy to make some money again. And we had a good trade COT report class yesterday. I'll have the recordings up within an hour, the class from last night and this class. So if you guys want to come back and check it out, I'll have that up in an hour. But other than that, appreciate you guys, appreciate your attendance. I'll try to get out a trade tonight, an overnight trade. But other than that, guys, we'll see you guys in the morning. Thanks for coming.